Let's be real, you need a car to get around, right? To get to work, to school, basically to live your life. But what if you don't have a big chunk of cash sitting around for a down payment? It's a super common and pretty stressful problem. So today, we're going to break down exactly how you can tackle this.
So you're asking the million-dollar question. Can you actually buy a car with zero money down? I mean, is that a real thing, or is it just something you see in commercials?
Well, the answer is yes, it is totally possible. But, and this is a big but, it's not some kind of magic trick. You need the right strategy, you need to be a little cautious, and you really have to understand what you're getting into. And that is exactly what we're about to dive into.
All right, let's start with the how. Think of these next few options as different paths you can take to get those keys in your hand. One of these is probably going to be the right fit for your specific situation.
Okay, so the most straightforward paths are all about credit. First, if you've worked hard to build a good or even an excellent credit score and you've got a steady income, lenders will see you as a safe bet. They'll often be willing to finance the whole price of the car, no problem. Now, if your credit isn't quite there yet, finding a co-signer, a family member or a close friend with great credit, can be a game changer. They're basically vouching for you, which gives the lender the confidence they need to say yes.
But what if those first two options don't work for you? No worries, there are other ways. If you already have a car, its trade-in value can act as your down payment. It's like you're paying with your old car. You've also seen those ads, right? Dealerships shouting about zero down events. Those are real, but you have to read the fine print very, very carefully. And for some folks, there are even nonprofit programs out there that help provide cars for families who need one to stay on their feet.
Okay, and now for a really important warning. You're going to see places called buy here, pay here, lots. They make it sound super easy, like they'll approve anyone. But here is the massive catch. The interest rates are often just sky high. We're talking about rates that could have you paying way, way more than the car is worth over time. You have to be incredibly careful with these places.
All right, we've gone over the ways to make it happen. But this next part, it's just as crucial. Getting a car with no money down is a tool, for sure. But like any tool, it comes with some serious risks you absolutely need to understand before you sign anything.
So here's the main trade-off laid out plain and simple. With a zero-down loan, you're financing the entire cost of the car plus fees. That means your loan amount is higher, which means your monthly payment is going to be higher. And here's the real kicker. Look at that last line. Over the life of the loan, the total amount of interest you pay will be way, way more. You save cash today, but you definitely pay more for it tomorrow.
And this leads us to a really big risk called negative equity. You know how they say a car loses value the second you drive it off the lot? Well, it's true. And without a down payment, you instantly owe more for the car than it's actually worth. People call this being underwater on your loan. It's a tough spot to be in, especially if you need to sell the car, or worse, if it gets totaled in an accident.
So knowing all those risks, how do you make sure you protect yourself and make a smart decision? Well, you need the right toolkit. These next few steps are your absolute must-dos, your non-negotiables, when you're buying a used car this way. Here it is, your 3-step action plan. Step 1. Get pre-approved for a loan from your own bank or a credit union. And do this before you even think about stepping onto a car lot. It tells you what you can really afford and gives you huge negotiating power. Step 2. Do your homework. Research the car's real value and its history online. Knowledge is your best defense against the bad deal. And step 3, and I really can't say this enough, always, always pay your own mechanic to inspect the car before you buy it. No exceptions, ever.
So here's the bottom line. Getting a car with no money down can absolutely solve a huge, immediate problem, needing a car to live your life. But it comes at a higher long-term cost, and it comes with more financial risk. Now that you've seen the pathways, the warnings, and the Smart Buyer plan, the only question left is the most important one. Is it the right move for you? That's a decision only you can make.